Hey everyone, Boyce Southern Source Inspections. This is a quick video on how you inspect your exterior air conditioner. So the first thing you do is just kind of take a lap around the unit and make sure it's in good, clean condition. We're going to check these coils, the fin coils here. So all these fins, you just want to make sure that they're clean. They're not dented or damaged, because the purpose of those is to let airflow over the condenser coils. So these all look pretty good. This is obviously a newer unit, so I don't anticipate there being too much wrong with it. But all those look good. Then we come over here to our data tag, which is actually going to be on this side on a train unit. So this data tag right here tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the unit. In our inspection report, we always notate the year it was made. Many times on all units, it's in the serial number here, but on train units, they make it easy for you to figure out how old the unit is. Then you get your tonnage, so your size. So you're looking in the model number here, and you're looking for anything that can divide by 12. It's typically in the middle. So this here is 30, we divide that by 12, so this is a 2.5 ton unit. So we know that. Couple other things you look for is what kind of refrigerant it's using. So R22 they don't make anymore. So obviously if it's an R22 unit, it's older, you should mention that to the client, let them know that, hey, they don't make this type of refrigerant anymore. Or it's R410A, so that's what this one is using here, which is the newer refrigerant. Sometimes there's a brand name called Puron that most people are familiar with, so that's good to see that. The last thing we get off this data tag here is the max breaker or fuse. So every unit's going to be protected with a breaker or a fuse. Here it's 25 amps, so you can't have anything bigger than that in that disconnect box or at the main panel if there's not a fuse or a breaker on that disconnect box, which we're going to check here in a second. So we got all the information off that data tag. Then we're going to come around here and we're going to check the refrigerant lines. So right here, this big line is your suction line. This is bringing in cold refrigerant, so you should always feel it and it's cold to the touch. If it's got a little damaged insulation right there, we're definitely going to mention that in the report, just because it'll cause condensation, it'll lose energy. This right here is your liquid line. So this is liquid refrigerant that comes through, and it's supposed to be hot. It shouldn't be hot to the touch, it should be warm to the touch, but warm liquid's coming out there, cool gas is coming in there. So that's essentially your two refrigerant lines. These things right here are actually a requirement from HVAC codes. They're called tamper resistant locking caps. You can't take these off unless you have a certain type of key. So that's good to see there. You see these missing on probably 9 out of 10 units. Here's actually an old one. This is the kind that they used to put on there. But these are tamper resistant, so no one can steal your refrigerant. Unfortunately, there is some crazy people out there that will steal it. So these are required. You always check for those. Then we're going to check the electrical conduit. It should always be tight, secure, no exposed wiring here, and it's going to run up all the way to this disconnect box. Okay, so this one does have fuses in it. I'm not going to pull it until this unit cuts off. I'll go cut it off inside, but you double check these fuses here to make sure that they're the proper size as to what that data tag recommended. Then we'll pull this off. I'll pull it off for you right now. And we're going to inspect the interior wiring. Just make sure everything's wired correctly. There's no signs of overheating, anything like that. The wiring's got a proper clamp there, which it does. Disconnect secure on the wall, and that all looks good. So that's essentially what we're doing when we check your exterior unit. You look inside of here, make sure this fan's blowing warm air over the top of it, because that's pulling the heat out of your house. Then we're going to check in there as much as we can see, and that's actually the compressor down in there. This one looks like it might be a heat pump. It's hard to tell, I don't think it is. But that's essentially how we check the exterior unit. Then we'll go inside and do a similar little rundown, make sure it's in good, clean condition. And that's basically it, y'all.